Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, hi, my name is Madison. I'm a new grad labor and delivery nurse. I want to say a huge thank you to Caseify for sponsoring today's video. I love Caseify and I got the cutest new cases from them. So as always, I do have a discount code for you guys. All you have to do is go to caseify.com/MaddieNJ for 15% off your next Caseify order. So Caseify sent over some new cases and they also sent a new tempered glass screen protector. I love these. And this time they sent over 2 adorable cases and they also sent over a phone strap, which is super cool. I love the prints of both of these cases. I like how the white one's a little more neutral and then we have the pink cute self-love one. I have my baby one on still. I get so many compliments at work all the time and I can't wait to switch out. I think I'm gonna use this pink one next. Caseify has ultra impact phone cases that are up to 9.2 feet drop proof. Thanks to their innovative shock-absorbing technology that's lined inside the case bumper and around 4 corners of the case. This holiday is coming around the corner, so you can treat your friends and family to a case that you can customize them with your name, initials, monogram, anything like that, or literally so many cases and prints that can fit your liking, your friends, your family, so definitely check it out. Caseify also has new phone straps and they sent me over a beautiful coral orange one, and these phone straps have a hypoallergenic chain, adjustable dual rope strap, and also a durable carabiner and card. And thank you so much Caseify for sponsoring this video. All you guys have to do is go to caseify.com/MaddieNJ to get 15% off your next Caseify order, and I will put everything down below. Again, thank you so much Caseify for working with me again on this video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, hi, my name is Madison. I am a new grad labor and delivery nurse, and on my YouTube channel I just kind of share me trying to figure it out, basically. I've been sharing my entire nursing journey, and if you're interested, definitely subscribe. If not, let's just hang out. Went on Instagram and I did like a little question poll where you guys could ask me questions yesterday, and we got so many questions and a lot of similar ones and then a lot of like really good ones that I never even like thought about. So let's see if I can pull them up here. Yeah, let me show you guys. Like, we have so many questions. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Have the strawberry refresher with lemonade and no berries, my favorite. It's more of a summer drink, but it is 51 degrees out right now in Cleveland, so I will take it. I'm a freeze baby, so anytime the weather gets somewhat nice, I appreciate it very much. One of the questions that I got the most, and we'll address the elephant in the room, is holy shit, I got a new car. You guys were so nice to me about it, and I like quickly mentioned it I think in like a video, and I was like, oh, this is the last time in my little Chevy Malibu. That's the car I had before. If you guys didn't know, it was like a 2011 Chevy Malibu for my grandpa, and I loved it. And I'm not really like a car person, or I don't know anything about cars like at all. Everyone always jokes, like me and my family, mostly me, I joke, and I'm like, I could literally be riding around with one wheel and I wouldn't know. If I can get from point A to point B, I don't care. But I got a new car, and this is a 2022 Nissan Rogue. All of you guys were asking me about it and you guys love the interior. Thank you so much, because when I saw this interior, I thought I wanted like all black, like everything, inside, outside, and then when I saw this interior, I was like, holy crap, this is beautiful. It feels so like luxurious, at least in my eyes. I will do like a little car tour if you guys are interested. I did get a couple DMs and a couple comments about it too, so if you do want that, let me know. I'm still trying to find like cute stuff for my car and stuff. I love the sunroof. It's like a big open like sunroof. I love it, and oh, it's just so nice, and I feel so grateful. I'm so happy that like my dad was so nice and like he went to the dealership with me and he helped me look and he helped me pick out like the perfect one. And I feel like I have to give myself more credit too, because it's like I worked so hard and like I was able to buy this for myself, so I'm very excited. Let's just kind of get into an update right now and answering the questions on how labor and delivery is, how I like it, and everything like that. So I started as a labor and delivery nurse March 13th, 2022, And I can't believe it because when it was in September, it like randomly hit me. I'm like, holy crap, I've been a nurse for 6 months, which is absolutely insane. And it has been crazy. Let me tell you, I have just learned so much. And so on my floor, I work at a smaller hospital. So I used to work at a really big hospital, like a huge hospital. And now I work at a smaller hospital. And so my labor and delivery floor, it is like anything having to do with labor and delivery, postpartum, everything like that is on one floor. So we get kind of cross-trained on all of it. So yes, I'm a labor and delivery nurse, but I'm also a postpartum nurse. I also do antepartum, so if we have patients who come in are like OB high risk and they need like to be observed for like blood pressures and stuff like that. Now if it's something like someone's gonna deliver like super early, or it's like severe complications, they will send them downtown to a bigger hospital. But yeah, so I not only, you know, have patients who are still pregnant and not even in labor, who I'm watching them for, most of the time it's blood pressure issues, just to like make sure their blood pressures stay down so they don't get pre-eclamptic and like start, you know, God forbid, having seizures or something. And I do my laboring patients, I do the recovery period, I do postpartum, so mom baby, and then also we have like a low acuity, no, that's not the word, like a lower level like NICU on our floor, like our NICU nursery kind of thing, because we're paired with like another hospital for that. And I haven't been trained on that yet, and I don't want to anytime soon because honestly the babies scare me, especially the ones who need to be in there. Like, don't put me in there yet, don't put me in there yet. But yeah, so we do a little bit of everything, and there's some nurses I work with who like hate postpartum, they love labor, vice versa. I really like both right now. I love when I get to go into work that there's like a change. You're kind of like, you're not always doing labor, you're not always doing postpartum. Now there's some nurses who've been there for years and like under certain contracts they're only doing like a certain thing, but like I signed the contract like for all of it. So yeah, I really like it. Obviously like some days are harder than others. Like sometimes if you have like a really heavy patient load on postpartum, it can just be like nonstop and stressful, especially if you have patients who are postpartum from C-sections. Obviously that is a lot more recovery wise intense, and pain wise it's a lot harder to kind of get them up and moving compared to a vaginal delivery, a vaginal birth. So sometimes that assignment can be heavy, and then other times like labors can just be so stressful sometimes. So yeah, but overall I have met the most amazing women like ever. And the reason I just say women is because that we don't actually have any guy nurses on our floor, and I do kind of miss that dynamic of having like male and female like co-workers. Like I loved like all of the guy nurses in my clinicals. I love the guy nurses that I used to work with when I was at PCNA. A lot of the ones I knew, they were just like level-headed and just so funny. I don't know, so I kind of missed that. But we do have male doctors on the floor, but no male nurses. Next question is, if I wasn't in labor and delivery, what other specialty would I go into, or if I ever like think about switching specialties. So labor and delivery was definitely one of my like top picks. I think it was like my first pick, and I was also really interested in psych and aesthetics, and also forensic nursing. I don't know too much about forensic nursing, but I definitely want to look more into it and maybe get into it one day. Right now I'm like young, I'm able to like move around, so it's like perfect to be bedside, because most of the time if you're like in office, not always, but most of the time they don't pay as good if you're just doing like an outpatient compared to doing like bedside nursing. Again, that's not everywhere. But I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna, you know, get the experience that I need while I'm young. I can move, I don't have kids. So one day I would definitely love to do something with forensic nursing, maybe a little bit of psych nursing. And also I would love to do aesthetic nursing one day too. But I really like labor and delivery. I could definitely see myself in labor and delivery for at least the next couple years. Alright, so next question is kind of like a schooling update. If I'm going back to school, what are my plans? And the answer is yes, I'm going back to school. My plan was to start in October, like last month, but that didn't happen. And also I was just really not in the mindset, honestly, to go back to school and start doing all of that again. So I'm gonna try to like figure that out soon and hopefully start in like January, February for my bachelor's. And then I eventually want to get my master's, like, and become a nurse practitioner. And with that, I would really like to either do like some sort of like a psych nurse practitioner or do something with like aesthetic nurse practitioner. So I definitely want to stay as just like my RN in the labor and delivery role. But if I do go into like forensics or psych or aesthetics, I want to further my education, and I would also love to teach clinicals, which I have to have my bachelor's for that. And also I would love to maybe like be a lecture instructor. I just love teaching. I love that like I could be that positive impact. Like I don't like how in nursing school they try to scare people. I want to be that like encouragement, like, yeah, this is tough, but you can do it because you can do anything you set your mind to, and anything like worth having isn't easy. And I would just love to be like that, or like some sort of mentor or something one day. Like I love when the nursing students come, even though I only get to see them for a couple hours because I'm on nights, but that's kind of what I would like to do. Right, so next question, there was a ton of questions about night shift. Do I like day shift better, night shift? How long do I have to be on nights? How am I adjusting? First off, I am still mentally in August. I can't even tell you what has been going on since I've been on night shift. Girl, I do not know, because the fact that it's gonna be Thanksgiving in 2 days, the fact that Christmas is around the corner, the fact that it's almost 2023, I cannot believe it. I literally cannot believe it. I am just so like stuck in August, or I guess June, from whenever I switched to nights. I've been on nights since June, and I am such a night person. Like I love staying up late. I'm a night owl. Mornings, not my thing. Never have been, probably never will be. But so nights are great for that. Like I can sleep all day. I can go in, I feel rested. Well, I'm kind of always tired, but like I feel better than if I were to wake up at the ass crack of dawn. But on my days off, I just want to sleep. And like I had the night off the other night, and like I could not fall asleep, and I got called off work last night, so I was still on call all 12 hours and I couldn't fall asleep. And it is 1:45 p.m. right now, and I haven't slept since yesterday. Like, I mean, I slept all day yesterday, but I don't know, I'm gonna crash soon. But I don't have any kids, obviously. I don't have a husband. I don't have any really responsibilities besides like showing up to work and like doing my job. So when I come home, I can kind of just sleep, which also isn't that good because I've just been sleeping and working. And that's kind of caused me to be in a funk, which leads me to my next question, is why haven't I been posting? Where have I been? It's because I've been in a funk. I've been in such a funk. I feel like stuck and like lost, and like I feel like just distant from God. Like I need to like get into like praying and stuff more, and just get on top of it with God, because I know that that's why whenever I start feeling that lost or just kind of like what is going on, it's because I am like just distant from God, and I need to like get back into that. I need to remember that the reason I'm here, a registered nurse, bringing life into this world, is because God allowed me to have the knowledge and the skills to be able to do this, and I need to get better with that. So that's why I haven't been posting. I want to post more. And also something that like bothers me, which not one of you, maybe you're thinking it, but I've not got one message, one comment, no nothing on any social media. But I have been thinking in my head that I feel like the past couple months I've only posted videos when there is like a sponsored ad in it or something. But the reason is, honestly, you probably would have not heard from me for a couple months if I didn't have contracts previously signed with like live dates and videos that needed to go up, because I was in such a funk. So that was the only thing, like I knew like contracts were signed, this needed to be done, this needed to come out this day, blah blah blah. Like stuff was made like months, you know, even up to a year ago, of dates, that stuff that was planned. So I am to an extent happy that that happened, so I am able to get content out for you guys. But my main goal is not to have everything sponsored, like the only content is sponsored. That's what I'm not trying to do. So I do just need to get back into the groove of filming. I need to get really just better at trying to plan out and schedule my days when I'm off instead of wanting to literally rot away in my bed like I've been doing since July. 3 things I have realized that I definitely need to work on, or I always joke about. I'm like, I need like a crash course on this. First one would be lactation, anything lactation related. And I've done lactation classes, I've worked with lactation, and I've watched people, but never having kids and never breastfeeding. I feel like you have like a better sense and like understanding if you've done it before. And I just used to think, okay, like, yeah, if you want to breastfeed, you breastfeed. It is so complicated. Not complicated. It is like so much harder. Like, it not always just, oh yeah, the baby latches. Like sometimes occupational therapy needs to get involved with baby. Sometimes baby's neck gets stiff the way that they were like laying in mom's belly, and so like they'll prefer one side over the other, like the left or right, because their neck's stiff. So occupational therapy will come and do like exercises with them, or like, you know, little like massage, and it's so cute. And so there's so much to it that I didn't even know. So I definitely want to grow my skills on like lactation better. Vaginal checks, someone commented on one of my videos too. Vaginal exams are something that I feel like takes lots of practice, because sometimes I'm like checking someone to see how far they're dilated, like the station, effacement. I'm like, what am I even feeling? You know? So I'm definitely need to, you know, just trust myself more, because sometimes I'll have my other co-workers check. I'm like, can you just check after me and like make sure you're feeling what I'm feeling? And normally we're like around the same, and they're like, okay, look, if you're one off, it's not like the baby's gonna fall out, you know? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I still get, you know, nervous, especially when having to deal with the doctors with that stuff. And then I also need to work on IVs, because we put freaking 18 gauge IVs in, and I suck at 18 gauge. Like, if I have to draw blood, I can do that, but the 18 gauge needles, oh my gosh. And then I just had to get blood drawn the other day, and like I am bruised up, and I think she just used like a little butterfly, and that hurt like a bitch. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Now I know how my poor patients feel when I'm like, oh, here we go, big needle. But on labor and delivery, we use 18 gauge needles, and so the smaller the gauge, like the bigger the diameter of the needle is, and so 18 gauge is pretty big, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but I feel like OB and ER are like one of the only 2 that I know of that do 18 gauge needles. And the reason we do 18 gauge, all of our patients have 18 gauge, at least one of them, and if they're a higher risk for a postpartum hemorrhage, we place 2 IVs, because we need a pretty big what is the word? Not needle, not diameter of it, I can't even think, but it needs to be big enough for us to get fluids in fast, because I feel like we're always doing a fluid bolus before epidurals, which is like 100% of the time. So for some reasons during labor, if like the strip's looking kind of shitty and stuff, we'll give a fluid bolus. And then also if we need to give an emergency blood transfusion, we need a 18 gauge. So that's why we do that. I need to work on that, because I don't know, or I'll get flashback, and then I can't draw their labs or something out of it, and it's just a pain in the ass. But something that I wish I knew about labor and delivery, someone was like asking if like you could tell yourself something like at the start before you started working as a nurse, it would be that labor and delivery is not holding babies. Because I low-key, I didn't think that, because I had clinical and like I knew, but I did not know how truly intense labor and delivery is. And you have to work as a team, because something can go wrong like any second, or you could have a beautiful baby throughout the entire labor, and then as soon as baby's born, like something can happen, and it's like you're always on your toes, and it's like you're never like safe, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells sometimes, and it's scary, because you have like such a big responsibility, and you're trying to take care of mom and baby and make sure everyone's comfortable and happy and safe, and it is a lot. Like, it is, you're not holding babies. It is so, like, there's a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of high intensity, and I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself. But especially being on night shift, whenever we go back to the OR, we're not going to the OR for a scheduled C-section. We're going back there for either an emergent C-section or an unscheduled C-section. Emergent, obviously, that means like we have like, decision to incision. Like, we have X amount of time that we need to decide, oh yeah, we need to have this emergency C-section now, to when they first make that incision. Like, there's like a certain like guideline, it has to be under how many minutes, I don't even know. But I absolutely hate being in the OR. I hate circulating. I hate scrubbing. I hate doing anything in the OR because I hate getting yelled at, and I hate feeling flustered. I hate it. I hate it so much. It stresses me out. It makes me want to cry. And especially when you are so overwhelmed and then you're getting screamed at by a doctor. I hate that. I hate that. And that's something too, I got a question leading into it, is how I deal with like rude nurses, doctors. I am so lucky that I work with the most amazing like coworkers. Like every single nurse I like on my floor. And they're just such amazing nurses. And there's some of them I'm just like, oh my goodness, I just hope to be even half the nurse you are one day. And it's crazy to think, oh my goodness, like I am a nurse now, like I'm a nurse, okay. It's kind of crazy, but they're amazing. And they've obviously been doing it for a while. And I'm just like, wow. I'm just like looking at them in awe. Like they're just like this amazing wealth of knowledge, which they are. But yeah, I've definitely struggled with the doctor thing, which is, and it's the female doctors, which is weird. I haven't really had any, I've had a couple guy doctors make me cry, but like it wasn't really personal. Most of the time it's not personal ever, but sometimes you work with mean people, and you're gonna work with mean people anywhere, but something that I just cannot stand is when people just think that because of their job title, their income, their status, whatever, that they think they're better than everyone. And like, I don't like that. Like, I don't care who you are, what you do, where you're from. We're all human at the end of the day. We all love, we all want to be loved, we all lay our heads down at night, and we all take shits, okay? We're all human, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I just think it makes me sick to my stomach when I sometimes have to go into work and I just know I'm gonna be treated like shit, which sucks, but yeah. And I would say, honestly, don't take things personally, because it is not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of that other person. And sometimes, like, people just do not even realize, like, they don't even have that emotional intelligence to realize how they're acting and how they're actually, like, how mean they're actually being, because they only care about themselves. And that's something that I've had to learn, and I try not to beat myself up over it, but there's a lot of times where I'm just like, I feel so defeated because I'm trying so hard to be my best and give the best care that I can to my patients. And at the end of the day, shouldn't that be everyone's same goal, like doctors and nurses? I don't know. So people were still asking if I am still orienting. I am not. I was off orientation in end of June, which is absolutely insane. So I've been off orientation 5 months now. What? So next question I have been getting for months and months and months. And I was even getting this, yeah, I've been getting this for months now. And then so many of you guys asked me this question. And it is if I'm in a relationship, if I am single, what happened to Antonio, or me and Antonio still dating? And the answer is no, we are not still dating. We broke up back in August. It was mutual, and we are still on good terms. So, Antonio.
Yeah.
So I am doing a Q&A, okay? And I had people ask me questions on my Instagram. Antonio, the biggest question is, where have you been in my videos? And so I'm filming, and I thought I'm filming right now, and literally, Antonio, every single question, I got like probably 50 things. Where's Antonio? Where's Antonio? Where's Antonio? Everyone's asking. They're like, are you guys still together? You haven't posted him. Did he take his NCLEX yet? What is he doing? Like, all of these questions about you. I think people ask more questions about you than me, honestly.
Psych, I'm not that interested.
But I thought you could say hi on my thing. Okay, say hi.
Hello.
I know, everyone's like, oh, we haven't heard about him. So me and Antonio are not together. We decided like mutually to break up August, end of July, August, I'm not sure, but it was mutual. And I've only had 2 boyfriends, and I am both, like, I'm civil, like, I'm not a burn bridges type of person. And I don't know. I've never been that way. I don't like that. So yeah, we're still friends though. What are different ways you take care of yourself while working? This is a really good question. So on my days off, when I'm like feeling like really just like in a funk or stuff that I really noticed that I was like really enjoying was in the summertime. I would love, like when I got off work when I was on days, I would love to go pick up like my favorite soup and salad from Longhorn and get like a clean shower and spend time with my family. Now in the winter time, honestly, if I can just take like a nice shower, cuddle up in bed, watch TikToks. But on my like days off and stuff, I will do like my skincare. So I will use like little razors, get the peach fuzz off my face, pluck my eyebrows. So even if I go to work like looking busted, at least like I don't have crazy eyebrows, I guess. And I'll do like, I don't know, for a while I was really into like coloring on my days off. Like I bought all these coloring books and these Crayola markers and I was like so into it. So I want to try out like different things. I really want to get like I don't even know what it's called, but I want to like get a board where I mix music, like a DJ board, and like I can like mash up songs. Sometimes you just need to talk to another nurse. One of my best friends, actually a lot of my best friends are nurses, and actually that is so funny because I have Paige, Allie, Kelly, Lauren, and Rachel. I have like 5 like really good best friends, and Lauren's about to graduate and be a labor and delivery nurse. She graduates in a couple weeks. I'm so excited for her. And then Paige is a pediatric nurse, and then Rachel is a packing nurse. So it's so nice sometimes if you just need to like girl time and you just need to sit and talk and you need to bitch. Sometimes you just need to bitch. And that kind of helps too. So I do like that. But when I fill up my days off with stuff, I feel like I'm actually living life. Obviously, then if I were to like sleep through it, so I do try to plan stuff here and there. Hardest thing about nursing. I would say the hardest thing about nursing is, I feel like there's so many hard things, but there's also so many great things about nursing. For me, the hardest thing, and this is just me personally, is trying not to beat myself up and be so hard on myself. Or where I feel like I didn't give it like, I'm like, oh my goodness, I felt like I could have done so much better. And it's like, Madison, you gave it your all. What do you mean? And it's just like, sometimes I just need to be easy on myself. And I also need to not take things so personally when it comes to, you know, physicians and stuff like that. And I just need to get a backbone. I need to learn how to stand up for myself. And I need to learn how to not let people walk all over me. And I hope that this is something that will come as I progress in my role. And I don't mean like being rude to people or being like cocky or acting like I know everything. I would never be like that. But just saying, like, standing up for myself, being like, hey, you know, like how you're treating me like is not okay. We're both here for the, you know, for the good of the patient. I don't know. Anyway, maybe one day. Do I have any regrets about going into nursing? Not really. No, I don't, because I think about like what all I can do, and I feel like I could literally like quit my job and I could find a job pretty easily compared to other professions, and I feel really grateful for that. The one thing I do love about bedside nursing is the 3 12-hour shifts a week. Also, labor and delivery, I am on call 36 hours every month and a half, I think, which sucks ass. I hate it, but what can you do? And that's on top of already working my full-time hours. Any advice to nursing students who want to go into labor and delivery as a new grad? I would say definitely try to shadow if you haven't had clinicals yet, or if you've had clinicals and you know you like it. I would still recommend shadowing, whether it be at a different hospital or if you know someone. Try to get in there so you can really see if you like it or not. So you're not like in it and you're like, oh my gosh, I hate this. Like, what is this? I would recommend that. Also, introduce yourself to the managers on your floor when you are on your labor and delivery rotation. This is huge. I was at a different hospital than the one I work at, but like for my labor and delivery clinical, I was at a completely different hospital than the one I work at now as a labor and delivery nurse. But my clinical, like my OB, like my head of obstetric nursing at my college, she taught clinicals at this hospital. She knew a lot of the workers. She gave them like my name, and I give like a huge credit for her for like putting in a good word for me, like saying, oh yeah, if you guys are looking for people, this is her information. I think I told you guys this too, because I didn't even apply when I went in for an interview. I actually had to like apply afterward because I got the job before I applied. I just wrote down my information. Like I didn't give them a resume or anything. And then obviously my interview, I gave them a resume and they like interviewed me and stuff. But I just feel very blessed and lucky. But again, I have a lot of friends who were hired new grad ICU nurses because they introduced themselves during clinical and to the manager, and the manager saw how well they worked and stuff, and they kind of created that kind of report, which is really important. But I would say don't doubt yourself. Don't listen to people who say you have to go into med surg, and just keep your head high and apply to places. Even if it says that you need experience, just apply. Like the worst they can do is say no or like not respond. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you are going to be where you are meant to be and where God needs you to be. So I think just trying to like trust the process of that too. Oh, this is a really good question. Where do I see myself in the next 4 years? So I'm 23 right now. So in the next 4 years, I will be 27, which is absolutely insane. Kind of makes me want to throw up a little bit. But in 4 years, sorry, I'm like really itchy. In 4 years, well, I'm hoping I'll have my bachelor's by then. I'll be done, and I hope I have my own place. I hope that I'm happy. I don't know. I hope I'm happy and surrounded by my family and my friends, and that like God is the center of my life. That's all I can like hope for. I don't think I'll have kids by then. I hope not. I'm not ready for kids. Did you go to university or college before nursing school? So yes, I did 2 years of pre-nursing requisites before getting into the nursing program. So I did a semester and a half at Ohio University, and then I did another 2.5 semesters at community college. Plans on renting and buying your own place. So I am so excited because hopefully very soon I will be moving out. I know my sister and I think I mentioned over the summer we were like touring different complexes and stuff, and we like fell in love. It was like a dream. Looking at some like condos, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait to kind of take you along with it. I don't know when it'll happen. One I'm looking at is like done and built. One should be done in the spring, so we're kind of just waiting on that. Someone asked if I had any interest in NICU nursing. Probably not. Like, no. Right now, no. Those babies scare me. The tiny babies, they scare me. What's your ratios for patients? This is really good. So with labor patients, normally it's supposed to be one-on-one. Obviously, it isn't always like that. In certain scenarios, normally if they're on Pitocin, it's one-on-one. If they are on Cytotec, sometimes we will also have a postpartum patient. So, and then if you're on postpartum, you can have up to 4 moms and 4 babies. So you have like a full patient load of 8 patients, and that can get super crazy sometimes. So it just depends. And then if I'm in triage, obviously we have 4 beds, so you can have up to 4 like at a time. And yeah, or sometimes I'll have like 2 moms and 1 baby because one of the babies is in their little NICU, or I could have 2 moms, 2 babies, and 1 mom who's like still pregnant and she's under obs for hypertension. But normally labors, it's supposed to be one-on-one because you're constantly reviewing that strip and charting on it. And with Pitocin, we have to chart every 15, and then with Cytotec every 30. How many babies have you delivered so far? So I actually just kind of the other day, because people were asking me on TikTok, I have like a little jar where I keep track of my beads, and I want to say, shit, you know what, I'm probably gonna forget, but I know for sure I'm at 28 girls right now and like 17 boys, maybe not that many boys, but I've just been counting the deliveries that I've done like off orientation and stuff that have been like my patients that I've been like the main nurse for. So obviously I do have a lot of patients who will come in as a 7 p.m. Pitocin induction or Cytotec induction, and obviously normally with Cytotec it's just like softening the cervix, and normally it goes a little bit slower sometimes, and every labor and everything is different. You could have a million kids and every delivery is going to be different. So a lot of the times my patients won't deliver on my shift, or I'll have postpartum one night or things like that. So that's not why I haven't delivered like I feel like a ton, but like when I actually think about it, I'm like, that's so many babies. That's crazy. Advice for us nursing students who are about to graduate, and how am I liking Pilates? So if you guys don't know, I have been getting into Pilates and I really like it. I'm just in like the simple, like I'm not doing anything like high intensity yet, but I love it. I feel really good and it's something I really like doing and I look forward to going, which is rare for me because the thought of working out makes me want to cry and throw up because I always feel like people are staring at me if I go to the gym because I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I would say the number one tip that I have for new grad nurses is you didn't get to where you are by luck. Like you can only be so lucky. You didn't get into college by luck. You didn't pass all your nursing prereqs by luck. You didn't get into nursing school by luck. You didn't pass all your exams to be to where you are to graduate as a registered nurse by luck. You got there because you earned it and you worked hard and you are worthy of that title. And I think sometimes we all struggle with that like imposter syndrome, and I do too. But I just want to wish you guys the best of luck, and don't let a lot of people tell me this and I need to learn it, which are like keep listening to it because my heart hasn't hardened yet and I hope it doesn't, but don't let other people like harden your heart. If you have this soft and kind and loving and bubbly personality, don't let people who are like, don't let negativity and just mean, nasty people take that away from you, because that is something that is so special that your patients are really going to appreciate. So don't let people harden you, okay? Keep your good heart. And people have been telling me this ever since I started back in 2019 as an aide. They're like, oh, we can tell you're new. Or like, because when I was a PCNA, I went from full-time to part-time to PRN while I was in school, and so I wouldn't come in that much like when I was PRN, and they're just like, oh, you're still new, or like they would just say stuff, and it's like, can someone come to work and be happy or be in a good mood, or is it just like, oh, they're new, just wait. I got a lot of questions about like when I'll be able to start day shift, and so I have to be in my position for at least 6 months at my hospital before you can like switch. So switch to days or switch to nights or switch to part-time or PRN or whatever. And there is a part-time day shift position open, but I am like on my own insurance and like benefits and stuff, so obviously that would be like different and cut if I went from full-time to part-time, so I can't do that. And I think there's going to be a day shift position opening soon, but I feel like people might take it. I don't know, we'll see. But then at the same time, the thought of like how crazy it is during days and how I would constantly be in the OR makes me sick to my stomach, because I hate being in the OR so much because I get so flustered. Well, a lot of questions like who's your favorite artist, and someone asked who my top 5 favorite artists are, so I think we should do that. So I'll probably guess Drake, Boom, yes, we all know. I love Drake. I love Majid Jordan, top for sure. I like Jack Harlow. I love Tory Lanez. I don't even know what number on. Jaden Smith, love him. Majid Jordan's like probably like my top favorite. Love The Weeknd. Some of y'all are gonna come at me. I do like Russ. I know you're gonna come at me. I did see him in concert like 7 years ago or something. I like Tusi. I like Brent Fayaz, Giveon, Chris Brown. I'm just going through like some of my songs I added. I don't know, those are some of my favorite. And I do appreciate you guys because you like my music and my videos, and I'll get my music on my videos from SoundCloud or from YouTube. Alright, so someone said that they're taking the NCLEX next week, so good luck. I'm sending you so much love, and they asked what are my tips for it. My main, well, the 2 things that I used to study was UWorld and the Mark Clemec lectures. My number one thing I will tell everyone, read your question, pick your answer, move on, be done. I finished the NCLEX and 75 questions in like 40 minutes, and I was literally always the last person. I would probably say for 95% of every exam in nursing school and pre-nursing classes, the last one done with exams, because I would second guess myself. I would leave questions blank and come back to it, and I would change answers. And I learned that the hard way because I changed my answers a lot, and I ended up not passing a class in nursing school because I would change my answers. And I pick your answer, move on, don't think about it, because if you think about it, just don't think about it. Think about it initially and move on. Tips for clinicals as a nursing student. I would say something that helped me because I would get anxious about it was if I didn't know where my clinical location was, like if I'd never been there before, I would drive there like the day before, a couple days before, and map it out so I knew where to go, what was around there, the timing, how traffic was, parking, all of that. It would help ease my anxiety so much. I would also show up early, not on time, early, to also decrease anxiety, and I would make sure I would have everything laid out the night before, go in ready to learn, have a good attitude, and be like just willing to help, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Clinical is a great learning experience, and don't get in your head and like anxious and like nervous about it, because that's how I was at first, and I feel like it's not really like that. Like I felt like looking now compared to being a nurse compared to like a clinical, like clinical is so chill. I feel like I'd never really had like a super strict like clinical like instructor, or where I was like so like scared to like do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I had really good clinical experiences, but it's just so much more chill when you're in clinical compared to when you're a nurse. Would you be a nurse with the knowledge you have now? That's a really good question. I think yes, I would still be a nurse with the knowledge that I have now after like seeing things. I think that nurses still don't get treated right or paid enough, but I could go into a bunch of other occupations like teachers and so many other things that don't get treated right or get paid, so I'm not gonna sit here and like, you know, talk about that, but I really do. I love it. And I was talking to my mom about this. I have so much love to give. Like I feel like I just like seep love out of my pores, and I just have so much love to give, and I feel like I just get so like emotionally connected, and I just bond with these patients and even my coworkers. Like we get deep sometimes on these late nights if it's like slow for a minute and we are talking, like oh my goodness, like my heart, like it just is seeping love, and I just like want to like cry and like just hug everyone up, and just I don't know, I feel like working has made me emotional too, but I just have so much love. I don't even know where that was coming from, but I would still be a nurse knowing what I know now, and honestly I would still probably go into labor and delivery too, but I would tell myself it is intense and it's not holding babies. Somebody asked how did I know that I wanted to be a nurse, and I was a senior in college, and I remember I was walking through Lowe's with my dad, and you know, my parents were like, oh, like do you know where you want to go to college? Do you want to know what you want to major in? I had no idea. I didn't even decide where I wanted to go to college until May, and I was leaving for college in August, and I needed to know because like my mom's like, oh, we need a theme for your grad party, you know. But I was walking through Lowe's with my dad, and he's like, have you ever thought about like pediatric nursing? And like my aunts and cousins, I have like a lot of nurses in my family, like my extended family, not like my mom's not a nurse or anything, or like my dad, so not my like intermediate family. But I was like, oh my god, that never crossed my mind. And then I was like, pediatric, I got so into it. And then for senior year of high school, we had to write a career paper, and it had to be like this 15 to 20 page paper about like a career, and then you had to like interview someone. It was like this intense, like your big senior project. And so I did it on a nurse practitioner, and I interviewed my cousin's husband, Mark, who is a family nurse practitioner, and I got to shadow him, and I was like, hell yeah, this is what I want to do. And knowing, because I knew I didn't want a 9-to-5 desk job, I wanted something where I could help people. And I think I've always wanted to help people. I've had that in me, and I'd have to ask specifically more to my parents how I was like growing up wise, but I just specifically remember to always wanting to make everyone feel seen and welcomed and heard. And I feel like as a nurse I can really like give my patient like, here, like I am here for you, I want you to tell me, like just talk. Like sometimes you just need to talk to someone and like vent, and even if it has nothing to do with, like sometimes you just need to talk to someone. And I just love being there for my patients in such beautiful times and hard times, and I don't know, overall I love being a nurse.